Welcome to this explainer. Today, we are talking about the octopus, oracle of the deep. I am so incredibly excited to guide you through this topic. We're going to explore the biology, the staggeringly high intelligence, and the frankly unbelievable survival skills of this marine marvel. So if you are ready to have your mind blown, let's get right into it.
Okay, let's dive into this. Because while humanity was busy inventing things like taxes and reality TV, the octopus basically evolved into something straight out of a science fiction novel. Now, they are mollusks, so they're actually relatives of the humble garden snail and the clam. But as we'll see, they took a totally different, highly advanced evolutionary path. Nature definitely plays favorites, and this creature, well, it got the ultimate upgrade package. 3 hearts, blue blood, and brains in their arms.
So 3, that's the first major biological shocker. They literally have 3 hearts. 2 of these, the branchial hearts, are dedicated solely to pumping blood to the gills to pick up oxygen. The third one, the systemic heart, pumps that freshly oxygenated blood to the rest of the body. But here is the crazy part. That main systemic heart, it actually stops beating when the octopus swims. That's incredibly exhausting for them, which is exactly why you'll much more often see an octopus crawling along the seafloor rather than swimming around.
And to make things even more alien, the blood those 3 hearts are pumping isn't even red, it's completely blue. Why? Well, human blood is red because it relies on an iron-based protein called hemoglobin to transport oxygen. But the octopus uses a copper-based protein called hemocyanin. And it turns out this blue, copper-rich blood is much more efficient at transporting oxygen in the freezing, low-oxygen environments of the deep ocean. It is just a brilliant biological adaptation.
And this brilliantly illustrates the whole biological profile. We've got 3 hearts, blue blood, 0 skeleton, 8 arms, and a lifespan of 1 to 5 years. Across the roughly 300 recognized species out there in our oceans today, these alien traits are highly consistent. Honestly, perhaps the most mind-bending feature is what they don't have, a skeleton. Aside from a hard beak hidden in their mouth, they have absolutely 0 internal or external bones. That means a massive, full-grown octopus can squeeze its entire body through a hole no bigger than a coin.
But to really understand what makes them special, we have to talk about their brains, or rather, their distributed nervous system. Roughly 2/3 of their neurons are located in their arms. Think about that for a second. 2/3 of an octopus's neurons aren't in their head at all. This effectively gives the octopus 8 independent mini-brains. Each arm can think, taste, touch, and react to its environment entirely on its own, without even having to check in with the central brain first.
Now, what's really interesting is how this decentralized intelligence translates into staggering problem-solving abilities. They are master problem solvers. Octopuses are widely considered the most intelligent invertebrates on Earth. In laboratory settings, they've been observed navigating complex mazes and even unscrewing child-proof jars, sometimes from the inside. And out in the wild, they are actual tool users. They've been documented finding discarded coconut shells, carrying them across the ocean floor, and then assembling them into portable armor when they need to hide. It is a stunning display of foresight. And all of this intelligence ties directly into their unbelievable survival skills. They have an absolute arsenal of defense mechanisms: camouflage, ink clouds, mimicry, regeneration. Take mimicry, for example. The mimic octopus can contort its completely boneless body and change its behavior to imitate highly venomous creatures, like lionfish or sea snakes, just to scare off predators. And if they need to make a quick getaway, they can deploy their famous ink clouds. Now, this isn't just a smokescreen. The ink is incredibly rich in melanin, which not only blinds the predator temporarily, but it actually dulls their sense of smell.
So the crucial point is their ultimate defense mechanism, their most famous trick: camouflage. The octopus's skin is a literal technological marvel, embedded with specialized pigment cells called chromatophores. These cells can expand or contract to change the creature's color in milliseconds. But they don't just stop at color. They use tiny muscles under the skin called papilla to alter their actual physical texture, perfectly mimicking bumpy rocks, smooth sand, or jagged coral.
When they are in their natural habitat, an octopus resting against a coral reef is virtually invisible in plain sight. They are the ocean's ultimate escape artists. They have no blind spots in their vision, and some researchers even suspect their skin itself contains light-sensitive proteins. This means they might essentially see with their skin to perfectly match their surroundings. Crazy, right?
But there is kind of a heartbreaking twist to the story of the octopus. We are looking at this incredible intelligence versus a tragically short lifespan. We have a creature capable of high-level cognition, facial recognition, and complex tool use, but they have a tragically short time to actually use it. Most octopus species only live for 1 to 3 years.
Even the massive giant Pacific octopus, which can weigh up to 600 pounds, only lives for about 5 years at the absolute maximum. It really makes you wonder what they could achieve if they had the lifespan of, say, a whale or a tortoise.
Let's move to the life cycle and see how this builds. It's an incredibly dramatic process. Hatching, rapid growth, mating, and then senescence, which is death. Octopuses are what biologists call simipares, meaning they typically breed only once in their entire lifetime. After a female lays her tens of thousands of eggs, she stops eating entirely. She spends the final weeks of her life fiercely guarding those eggs from predators. Once the babies hatch, the mother undergoes a programmed rapid aging process, that's senescence, and dies shortly after. And the males? Well, they don't fare much better, usually dying pretty soon after mating themselves.
Okay, I know we've covered a ton of astonishing ground already, so let's shift gears a bit. We've got 4 frequently asked questions to run through about these fascinating creatures. FAQ 1, with all that brain power, do octopuses sleep or even dream?
The answer is a resounding yes. Scientists have closely observed them resting in their dens. And what's truly captivating is that while they sleep, their skin cycles rapidly through different colors and patterns. This is incredibly similar to the REM, or rapid eye movement sleep cycles in humans, which is where dreaming occurs. So it's highly likely that they are re-experiencing the events of their day. They might literally be dreaming of a successful crab hunt or a narrow escape.
Moving right along to FAQ 2. Are octopuses dangerous? I mean, given all their sci-fi villain traits we've been talking about, it's a very fair question to ask.
Well, the truth is, all of them are venomous. They use this venom to paralyze their everyday prey, like crabs and clams, just to make them easier to eat. However, for almost all of the 300 species out there, that venom is completely harmless to humans. There is, of course, one major exception, the blue-ringed octopus. It's a tiny creature that flashes bright blue rings when it feels threatened, and it carries a potent neurotoxin that is absolutely fatal to mankind. So yeah, admire that one from a very, very safe distance.
All right, FAQ 3. How do they fit through such tiny spaces? You always see those wild videos online of them squeezing out of tiny glass jars or small holes on boats. What is the actual physics behind this incredible escape artistry? As we touched on earlier, the secret lies in their complete lack of a skeleton. They are entirely soft tissue. They have absolutely no bones, except for a hard beak. That beak is made of chitin and looks a whole lot like a parrot's beak. Because of this, the general rule of thumb is, if an opening is large enough for that beak to pass through, the octopus can squish, contort, and pull the entirety of its remaining body right through that exact same gap.
And our final FAQ number 4. The ocean is a dangerous place. What happens if they lose an arm to a predator? Like when camouflage and ink just aren't enough against a shark or an eel.
Their physical resilience is honestly just as mind-blowing as their intelligence. First of all, the detached arm, thanks to all those distributed neurons we talked about, will actually keep wiggling and moving on its own. It serves as a perfect decoy to distract the predator. Meanwhile, the octopus makes its escape and simply grows a brand new arm. They regenerate the arm perfectly, with absolutely zero loss of function in the new limb.
Which brings us to the final, kinda provocative thought from our sources today. If octopuses ever develop organized civilization, is humanity finished? Just think about it. A creature with highly distributed intelligence, the ability to turn invisible, venomous bites, independent regenerating limbs, and unparalleled escape artistry. It genuinely sounds like a rejected science fiction villain design. If the octopus ever figures out how to live past 5 years and develops an organized civilization, well, humanity might just be finished. I hope you walk away from this explainer marveling at the oracle of the deep just as much as I do. Keep learning, and we'll catch you in the next explainer.